All right, welcome back everybody to KnowItAllDM Entertainment. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great, hanging out playing Star Salvage with Fragalot. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So we tried to update the game because I did update this scenario, and we tried to get it so that we had where it would have the CPU junk and all, but at the moment it does not because we couldn't get it to load because I had altered the system config file, and that was giving us a whole bunch of problems. And yeah, it was a big mess. If I could return the system config file to what it was before, but I don't remember exactly what it was before. Basically in the system config file, I removed the junkyard planets because, well, they're the ones that are apparently causing people to crash upon entry. I don't know. I haven't experienced this myself since I removed the junkyard fulls, and the junkyard temperates on single player I can still enter, and it just takes a little bit to enter. But in any case, so we might have problems when we get to the junkyard planets. We might not. I don't know. In any case, we decided instead of just restarting the game, we're going to continue from where we were because it's not that big of a deal. When it comes to those, we're primarily trying to test out the PDAs to make sure that those work. So we're just going to continue from here.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, we had just arrived here.
Well, we had just
arrived.
We've been here
before.
We'd been here. I'd been trading things quite often. In fact, right now I still have some things that I could trade.
I'm sure they refresh. It's been 2 weeks.
Well, in game it hasn't been.
Yeah, well, I've been loading the game up several times to get the changes updated, but it didn't work. Well, I've been reverting back too.
Yeah. Where's the dude that?
The one that sells them cheap and buys them expensive?
Yeah, the dude that sells them cheap is in here, I believe. And that is the mobility ones. He's completely out of them, and he's full on multi-tool. So he hasn't reset. Because I've got a tier 2 multi-tool that I could sell, in addition to the one that I've been using. And so, yeah.
All I have is a color jewel.
Now, specifically, we're trying to get the... Are we trying to get the CV ones or the base ones right now?
Both, really, but the one my mission is for the base.
Okay. We're trying to get the large optronic bridges specifically to make whichever ones. So...
Yeah, computer issues.
Hold on. I can buy large optronic.
They get cheap enough for you to buy them?
Well, I've got 300,000 bank balance, and they're only 195,000 each.
You can get one.
So yeah, so I can get one. Had we hadn't already gotten one yet, had we?
No. I think you bought some before, because this is like our second or third visit here. Because we had just built these. We had just spawned these little ships in.
Okay. So we've got 3 multi-tool tier 2s that we can sell. I don't think they really buy any of the other weapons we have here. Night vision goggles. Does anybody here actually buy them?
Not this guy.
Interweb does for 1,400. We may have to go around and do some looting and see if we can try to find more like heavy armor and such.
Yeah.
How is your cargo space?
Damn near empty. Only got 2 blocks in here. 20 out of 5,539.
All right, go ahead and... What was that?
I heard that. I think it sounded like a machine crashing.
Go ahead. I gave you a whole bunch of stuff. Go ahead and take all that back to the ship. And then we can start searching.
Did we leave it in orbit because we can't bring it to the planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not explored much of this planet.
I'm going to go ahead and reshare the salvage yards in case you don't have it on here. That's just one of the salvage yards. This planet ought to have 3, so I'm going to go ahead and start looking for the other salvage yards.
The White Star.
I'm going to go ahead and just like make a lap around the planet, see if I can find the other 2 salvage yards.
Where does it say where we can't land on the planet?
Because the planet does not allow capital vessels.
No, I'm just saying, where does it show that?
If you look on the map,
Galaxy map?
Yeah, on the galaxy map, click on the planet, look under description.
Okay. Okay, there it is.
I don't think that this ship has a detector on it, and I don't have a... No, I do have a personal detector.
Well, I'm at the ship. I can build one. Or I can take them off our ships. Slap them on.
Or, I mean, or you could just come down in the other ship and search for it, and I could head back up and grab my ship and search for it. In fact, what you could do is I could go back to the trade station. You could dock my ship to your ship, then get in your ship and fly it down here to the trade station. Then I could take the midnight run from your ship and
This is quicker. I'm just gonna build 2 of them.
okay.
Slap one on mine, because I don't have either kind of scanner right now. Detector. Well, now I do.
So, for those of you watching, I'm going to be doing my my episodes a little bit differently. I'm going to start cutting them down to about 30 minutes or so, as close to 30 minutes as I can. And largely I'm doing that because well, having 1 hour long videos. I know not everybody likes watching 1 hour long videos, but that will also allow me to put up, I'll end up putting them up more times per week. So instead of having like 3 1 hour videos a week, I'll end up trying to have about 5 half-hour videos a week.
That's what I do. But usually they're a little bit longer than a half an hour.
Yeah, I'll cut them into segments as close to half an hour as I can. So like if we record for an hour and 37 minutes, there might be like 32 and a half minutes each or something.
Okay, you're still at the trading station. Meet you there.
Yeah, I just came back here. I'm on upper deck docking.
Okay, I'm gonna slap the detector on your ship.
I mean, I'm right here. You can just hand it to me.
You know, they still don't have a trade system. If you want to give someone something, you have to drop it, and someone else can just pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the trade kiosks, but you have to, you know,
have to pay money.
Currency exchange and...
All right, I'm coming in.
But then again, that's how a lot of games like this are, like Ark. You know, in order to give someone something, you just throw it on the ground and have them pick it up.
Yep, that's where I put mine. Right between them. Oh, you put yours down there. I put mine on covering the controller.
Yeah, I like being able to access the controller.
So, still access it, or just have F4.
All right, I guess we'll independently search for these other two things and then figure out which ones we want to start looting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go south. Avoid the drones, because we can't shoot them.
So another thing that I might end up doing, which I don't have it currently set this way, but I might end up setting it so that the planets that disallow capital vessels also disallow base building, so that you can't build a base on a planet where you can't land your capital vessel.
Ew.
To largely discourage a whole bunch of building all over the place. And that way people, when they find one that they can build a base on, they'll be like, this is my home, you know, and take what they can get.
What about coring a POI?
You would still be able to do that, but if you're in multiplayer, the POIs regenerate, and you know it's yeah, and you can't claim regenerating POIs.
Down the drone base.
Don't try to attack it.
Oh, it's the abandoned drone base.
Still don't try to attack it. If we're gonna go after, we're gonna want to come in with, you know, at least your thing, because you know, it's kind of bad to attack a base with just cargo things. Then we'll come back with cargo things, but we want both of us to be there. I found something small, Xerax-wise. It's got a small radius. Oh, here's a crashed DSE MiG.
Yeah. All kinds of goodies in there. There's a grab generator, about 3 or 4 thrusters, 2 large constructors, a bunch of oxygen tanks and containers, and a turret.
Yeah. I'm wondering if for Alpha 12 they're gonna update some of the crashed ships to include, you know, 1 or 2 CPU elements.
Or the bridges, maybe.
Well, I'm thinking like, but it doesn't make much sense if you have a ship that requires CPU to crash and all the CPUs are gone, you know. But if let's say with the DSE engineering section is what, the rear, and so the DSE rear might have 1 or 2 of the 4 necessary for a tier 4, or 1 of the 2 necessary for a tier 2, and or tier 3, I mean, and that way you can get part of what you need from a crashed capital vessel, but not everything you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe you find 10 of those so you can actually build something.
Yeah. Well, you'd end up having to find like 2 of them if it was a tier 3, or 4 of them if it was a tier 4.
Yeah.
But you would have to find those specific ones, you know, so that not all the crashed capital vessels have them, but these specific ones, like the crashed DSE rear,
Junkyard.
the you know, the Titan would definitely want to have a one, you know, one of the segments have at least 1 CPU thing in it.
So this is a Polaris junkyard.
Yeah, like the one we found was the Polaris junkyard.
It means they won't shoot at us.
Oh, are you in a Polaris junkyard now?
I'm in a new one.
All right, I just pinged it. I'm coming your way so I can discover it as well.
I'm still seeing things in my contacts in my detector when going to it. Crash shuttle. Oh, that's just like those starter POIs.
Yeah. But for the people interested in Star Salvage, the current scenario that is online has been fixed, so CPU junk does appear. It will appear in on the starter planet, far away, like on the other side of the planet from the starting location, and then on all the moons and all the other planets, it will appear in, like on the moons, it'll appear in the large crater junkyards. And on the other planets, it will appear in like the Polaris junkyards and the Xerax junkyards. But there's like maybe 1 to 5 CPU junks per junkyard, and so or per planet is what I should say. And so it's yeah, there's the abandoned drone base. So, you know, they're rare finds, but, you know, it's a, actually, no, I think it would be per junkyard, on the planets. On the moons, it's like per planet, there's like 2 to 6, I think, per moon. And on the starter planet, there's only like 1 to 5 altogether anyway. But, so they're rare finds, and the higher level ones, the ones that would give you tier 3 and 4 CPU stuff, are surrounded by Xerax troops. So, and by that I mean they're set to spawn in on the POI. So yeah, you'll end up fighting anywhere between 5 and 12 Xerax things. Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Where are you? Oh, you're going the wrong way.
Well, I was following a ping and came upon these.
Yeah, you found a different abandoned drone base.
Oh, is that not the one you found?
No, because I'm way south. You're way north. You're practically at the poles. I'm at the South
Oh, wow.
Pole, practically.
Yeah.
Oasis.
The funny thing is, I started heading towards your salvage thing, and then
You went off course.
yeah, I think that's the one I need to be heading towards. I got distracted by pings.
So if I open a container in these junk POIs, it won't count against the Polaris hating me.
No, because the Polaris, they're not Polaris POIs. They're just in a junkyard that's run by the Polaris.
Drone factory. There are a lot of POIs I have not really been through yet.
Ow.
An Alpha 11, and they're tough.
Oh, I know. I've looked at them in the what do you call it? The creative mode, and I've looked at a lot of them, and they're really.
I played them. They're tough. Though once you learn it, there's some shortcuts. You just blow some doors open. You can get to the end quicker without having to flip switches everywhere.
Yeah, but you see, that's why I like in my scenarios, I will often make the thing. What do you call them? Make them alien admin, so that or NPC admin now, so that you have to go the way that they're intending you.
You're going north again.
I know. I see a ping. I'm going towards the ping. There's no point in doing this if I'm not going to find things, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go west. And it's just a cockpit. Just those crappy starter POIs that no one uses.
Yeah, and it's got 4 drones around it.
I remember in the past, like whenever you come across those starter POIs, that it's kind of like it's a base that belongs to you for some reason, and there's drones there, and it's instantly they start attacking at the moment you approach it.
That's because they were set to player faction. Now they're set to
Public, I think.
They're set to public. Yeah.
They're set to public, but still a player core.
The problem was that they were set to private before, I believe. Or
yeah,
I don't remember. I think they were set to public, but drones would attack public bases, and they changed that so drones no longer attack public bases for that reason specifically.
Shoot me.
All right, I'm 1.5 clicks away from the salvage yard over here.
Yep. You're there.
This looks like a little smaller one than the other one.
Yeah, it is pretty small. I found everything already. There's 2 DSC fronts, and that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, this has... I mean, there's some smaller wreckages and such over here. But yeah, this one looks like it has mostly crashed vessels. It has small vessel. It doesn't have as many wrecked things. Oh, keep in mind that this actually extends into this forest area as well. There's some junk hover vessels, junk small vessels out here in the forest.
Okay.
Or I guess oasis. And over into this rocky area, the rocks biome. Ah, here's a junk storage.
Oh. The lunchbox?
Yeah. It has solar panels and solar capacitors. I'm just going to grab them for parts.
All right. I'm going to keep going west on the south side.
Yeah, I think that first, the first POI we found was, or first junkyard we found was the best one so far. Oh, there's another ancient flying machine.
Yeah, I passed by that earlier.
All right, if you're heading west, I'll head east. I'm about down to a quarter on my food.
You got rations?
I do. I got 2 rations. Okay. So one thing I did on my ship is I set it so that the heavy down thrusters, I set it so that those I have to turn on and off with a heavy haul signal so it doesn't use as much fuel when we're just searching around.
Good idea. The ones we added on, right?
Yeah, the ones that we added on. Ooh, what is these? What is these? I believe this is... Ooh, boy. Ow. Okay, I have no back thrusters anymore.
Use your bottom thrusters, tilt forward.
That's what I'm doing.
Nose down and hold the space bar. Just go back in orbit and fix your ship.
That's what I'm doing. I also lost my cargo pod, so I lost, or my cargo controller, so I lost everything that was in my cargo.
Ow.
That being said, it was like just a few what do you call them?
Abandoned bunker. That's what I haven't done yet. Or maybe I have. I didn't go through the whole thing yet.